I have a product that I just created. Well, we just created at the top of the year. We launched it. It's called Business Finance Strategies. What we do on the radio show is blackonomics.com. It's blackonomics with an A.com. It's an awesome website. It's like a portal for all things entrepreneurial. So we have a calendar. I speak about like 36 times out of the year, and there's some conferences that I do not miss. One of them, for instance, is the NABHOOD convention. You asked earlier about events. A lot of you guys know Camp Creek and the Camp Creek Marketplace. Well, there's a hotel there, there's a Hampton Inn, and there's also a courtyard. Well, those two hotels are owned by a 32-year-old African-American female from Clark Atlanta University. Her name is Shannon Lien. She's one of our clients. All right. Shannon pulled that transaction off because she's a member of NABHOOD, which is the National Association of Black Hotel Owner Operators and Developers, of which Mr. Michael Roberts is the chairman, Bob Johnson, and Donahue Peoples, a couple other big-time cats. So they have a conference in July where they invite other African Americans who have an interest in the lodging sector to come to that conference. So that's a must conference. You can't miss that conference. Power Networking is another one. You guys hear us talking about George Frazier. I'm a product of Power Networking. I went to Power Networking in 2005. I met my business partners and we started the firm and we made a whole ton of money. So Power Networking is another conference that comes, it's moved to Dallas, Texas next year, but that's another one you don't want to miss. MedWeek, I just got back from that. You cannot miss MedWeek, especially if you're into governmental contracts and stuff like that. That's at the White House, and it was at the Warden Motel in DC. So on our website, you can go to blackonomics.com, join the meetup, you get access to our calendar, and you can get in the loop with all things entrepreneurial. In reference to the finance question, I have a product, it's a 5-hour audio book, and we spend a whole entire hour on microfinance. So a lot of things that I see right now, like I said, our firm is big on technical assistance. It's not that there is no money and the banks are not lending. That's a fallacy. Banks are lending. They're lending like serious money right now. The problem is that you guys are not coming to the table with clean loan packages. All right, and there's 3 things when we're talking about putting loan packages together. One is credit. Everybody knows that. But there's also capacity. Capacity shows your wherewithal, meaning can you finance this debt that you're about to create for yourself? And then it's collateral. So credit, capacity, collateral. We explain all of these things in this 5-hour audio book, from microfinance, which is from $5,000 to $50,000. This too is for existing businesses. So if you're already in business and you need to get $50,000 to $150,000, that's explained in this 2. In this 3, we deal with equipment finance. I love equipment finance because if you're a barbershop, you don't necessarily need working capital. You just might need an equipment loan for $75,000. There's companies with a 670 that'll do $150,000 to $350,000 just on equipment. But you got to understand the terms. You got to understand how to put those deals together, who those lenders are. Time payment lends up to $25,000 with a 575. That's critical information if you need an equipment loan and your credit score is below 600. That's explained in hour 3. In hour 4, we talk about true business loans that go up to $5 million. We show you what's needed, what the requirements are for SBA 7A, the 30% to 25% cash injection that's needed at the time of closing, the capacity, the credit scores need to be 720 or 680 or better. And then the last disc is commercial finance for those hotel transactions, which goes up to $25 million. So I spent 6 years of my career brokering loans is in this 5-hour training kit. It's almost like a finance MBA in a kit. I have them available at the table. But just to answer your question, we take that very seriously, because if you're saying, hey, I need to have an idea or have a business plan, and now I need to figure this out, that's from our vantage point where we lose our shirt. That's a finance issue what this brother talked about. And they lost that opportunity because somebody on their team didn't have access to enough information to get the deal done. That's the major challenge from our standpoint. And so we kind of give you guys resources to be able to figure it out.
And I just want to say one last thing.